Hey, good morning, folks. This is Dan, the manufactured home man here, and we're in Lufkin, Texas, obviously. And I want to do a quick walkthrough of this cutaway. Now, most manufacturers in our industry don't have a cutaway, and they focus a lot on things that they're good at, like they have nice counters, nice backsplashes, nice showers, and lots of different floor plan layouts. But Solitaire is a company that is totally in this industry focused on the construction. So not everybody is after what we do, but there is a small percentage of the people that they are dead set against a manufactured home until they learn about and do their research and find out about Solitaire, because this house was birthed in the 1960s by a couple of brothers that were trying to get as close as possible to a site-built quality. And it started with the IBeam. The IBeam of a manufactured home generally has a lot of bend and give in it, which is why most manufacturers, let me get this little deal going here, right? Most manufacturers, you see the seam here in this sheetrock, they take a piece of vinyl and they cover that up. And so these seams here act as an expansion joint. The house can kind of go down the road like an accordion, you know, and it bends and gives. And so they use this 3/8 of an inch vinyl sheetrock. It's got a vinyl coating on it. And then see, that way they don't have to tape and texture and paint it. They just put it up, and then they put these batten strips up to cover the seam up, and so the house has some expansion joints built into it, and so that allows the house to go up and down the road with a little bend and give. But Solitaire puts enough engineered camber bend in their I-beam, sort of like a flatbed truck you see has that little bit of a bend in it before the weight gets loaded on there. Well, Solitaire has the engineered camber I-beam to where when you put all this weight on the frame, there is very little bend and give in the home. And so most manufacturers, they go 76 feet because if they were to go much longer than that, the bend and give would be as much as a foot once they take the blocks out from their from the model center and they get ready to travel with that home. You're getting as much as 12 inches of bend and give in that home, so they don't want to go much longer than 76 feet. But because Solitaire has that stout cambered I-beam frame, we can go the full 82 feet. So huge house, 32 by 82, the largest 4-bedroom in the industry unless you go triple wide with 2,624 square feet. But let me just quickly go over the standard features of a Solitaire. So the engineered cambered I-beam with outriggers that go to the very edge of the wall. I can show you that on another video when we're outside. And then on top of this very stout I-beam frame, we have what's called a grid system floor. So our floor joists are on 16-inch center, and then going back in the other direction, we have 2x3s. So every 16 inches in every direction, you have support. So there's no tongue and groove. Now this PVC here is what's used by some manufacturers. I think most have gone to the Generation 3 PEX plumbing like we have. But we don't use the PVC anymore. We only use residential grade PEX plumbing, okay? And of course that's been for many, many years we've been doing that. So on top now of your grid system floor, which allows you to bring that 1,400-pound gun safe across the floor without worrying about the tongue and the grooves breaking, we have this plywood that is 19/32 of an inch thick, and I've been informed that there's no such thing as grade A plywood, but this is if there was such a thing as grade A, this is the type of plywood that doesn't have a lot of knots in it, okay? So it's the center of the tree cut, and it's 5-ply, and it is sanded and floated so that it doesn't have a whole lot of grooves in it. This is a furniture grade plywood, okay? And I understand it's also a marine grade plywood. We had a lady come in the other day, and her house had been underwater for several weeks, and she was able to save the floor in that house. She was in Harvey, and she was still able to save the floor on that house. So very amazing, very amazing. Plywood floors, you gotta have it. 2x6 walls, sanded and floated. I'm sorry, not sanded and floated, but glued and screwed construction on these 2x6 walls. You can maybe see over here a little bit. Down here you can see the double metal strap every 4th stud with lots of glue. And then your 50-year LP smart siding on the outside of the house. And so we've been using this for about 10 or 15 years maybe now, and have not had to, I've never as a general manager had to replace it for it rotting out or getting bad spots like masonite would do. So awesome residential grade product. And then of course your 1/2-inch tape and textured sheetrock. Every room, we don't use vinyl in some rooms and sheetrock in other rooms. Every room has that. When you get up to what's really different about a Solitaire, 2x6 walls, 2x6 top and bottom plates, 4-inch screws instead of nails, just a much more stout, sturdy construction. The Louisiana Pacific smart siding, and then when you get up into the attic rafters, you've got an attic. I'm going to show you the vents when we get outside, but most manufactured homes have a cathedral ceiling with 2 foot of dead air space, whereas we have a real attic space with 3.5 foot of dead air space up there, and the guys actually climb through there and bolt the house together, so it is a real attic, and we can even make access for you if that's something you wanted. And then we're not using TechShield roof decking anymore. We're using a different product, but it is the same concept, the aluminum backed OSB, which is a lightweight, good roofing material, but it's aluminum backed so that a lot of the heat never gets in the attic. See, this is this one is 110, and this one is 120. So you're knocking 10 degrees off of the attic right there. And then up in that attic, we put in our larger homes, we put R40 roof insulation. In some of our smaller homes is R30. In our single wides is R22. But TechShield roof decking and thermostatically controlled attic fans in our double wides. So that's another awesome feature. So anywhere in our houses that you find that you need laminate floors, of course we offer all that, and different counters through Home Depot. Different shower doors, fancier shower doors, if that's something that you're interested in. We can customize this house for you and really make it look like a spec home. All kinds of different laminate floor options. Now when you're over here looking at this, when you're looking at crown molding and the trim that goes around your doors, and then your trim for your cabinets, a lot more real wood than you'd find in a manufactured home, in a trailer. Manufactured homes use a lot of vinyl coated materials, and so we try as much as possible to have more of a solid wood residential product. Not everything in that whole house is solid wood, but man, we get pretty close. We get really close to a true residential product. So that is a quick, brief, short, to the point explanation of the basic construction of our homes. And I'm trying to use this little remote controlled gizmo here, and that's why this phone is doing all kinds of crazy things. But so that's your basic intro to the cutaway. I'll try to do a better one of these in a week or two, but that'll get you started. Thanks a lot.